You feel like your introversion is holding you back, when the real hindrance is that you're in resistance to your own nature. What if I told you that you don't need to generate confidence by being unnatural, but rather you can reveal the confidence that's within you by simply resolving these three things? To come into our power as introverts, it's crucial to unravel the social conditioning that has put us in conflict with ourselves. Your nature is not wrong, it's not ineffective, but it can be experienced that way when you're letting the mental programming of the culture distort your view. At the beginning of the 20th century, Western culture over-rotated on a social ideal that favored outgoing, assertive, social characteristics. And this was useful at the time in that it helped us transition from these smaller, more intimate communities to larger, denser cities where you kind of need to stand out in a crowd of strangers. But this selective focus is just one lens to see the world and to see value that just happens to highlight extroverted traits. It does not dilute the power and the gifts that introverts bring to the world. Your self-awareness, your introspection, your calm and independent approach to life, your ability to listen deeply and to empathize, your strategic and thoughtful decision making. These character traits may be less obvious, they may be often misunderstood compared to our extroverted counterparts, but they are still immensely valuable to the world. My question for you is, are you in touch with the value of these character traits? Or have you let the social conditioning, the mental programming actually put you at odds with what are your greatest gifts? Confidence and charisma are natural byproducts of being at ease with yourself. And so by resolving some of this inner conflict with our nature, you may find a newfound sense of freedom, an ability to express and connect and give your gifts. If you're still unclear about your gifts, it's okay. You may be falling for one of these next two traps. Let's examine and reframe some of the labels that the world tends to slap onto introverts. First off, you're not too quiet. You're calm. You're not shy. You're at ease. You're not antisocial. You preserve your energy for people who share your same emotional and intellectual depth. And you reward those people with really deep candor and insights. You are not a buzzkill. You simply thrive in less stimulating environments that allow you to go beyond surface level pleasantries. You are not soft-spoken or awkward. You are selectively enthusiastic. And when an idea or a conversation authentically excites you, your charisma is unleashed. It's uncontainable. You can see the power of breaking through these surface level labels and getting to the core truth about your personality and your character traits. Listen, calmness is attractive. To be selective about how you allocate your energy, that is an assertive thing to do. You have likely had people in your life tell you, I feel so calm around you. Or you've had them say, you're such a great listener. That capacity to just sit in silence, to either have a peaceful mind or to not just anxiously spew whatever comes to your mind, that is a gift that you give others. And I think it's important to recognize and honor that gift because you are empowering people to get what they truly crave. They truly crave to be seen and to be heard. Another mislabel to address is that introversion is not the same as social anxiety. Social anxiety typically involves a fear of social judgment. Introversion is simply a preference for lower stimulating environments. So introverts don't necessarily fear social situations, rather they find them potentially overstimulating or draining, and they prefer to recharge by themselves. Conflating these two labels leads to narratives that are neither useful nor true, and the narratives and the stories we tell ourselves impact our behavior, our habits, and the way that we show up in the world. Now, what else is standing between introverts and their inherent self-confidence? It's a misalignment in their relationships and their environment. It's funny how there's actually a loud train going back in the background as I talk about this idea of misalignment in environment. There have been many times in my life where misalignment impacted my self-confidence. I was either at home by myself, overindulging in solitude, or I was out with an extroverted group of friends at some overwhelming nightclub. What I wanted was more connection, and I thought that by rebelling against my isolation and throwing myself into these overly social environments, that would help solve my problem. But I never felt my best in these situations because they were not optimized for my strengths. And because of that, I was not able to build meaningful connections. I always left those nights feeling really disheartened and like full of doubt about myself. My challenge for you is to think about the spectrum of complete self-isolation versus that really overstimulating environment where it's overwhelming and you struggle to express yourself, and find where your edge is. Where do you feel challenged but still alive and engaged? That is where some really amazing outcomes can happen for you. Over time, I found my edge by identifying nightlife venues in Austin that, attracted a pretty good crowd, but had a more relaxed atmosphere where the music was vibey, but it wasn't so loud that I couldn't hold a conversation and create connection with somebody. Once I truly identified my edge, I felt so much more socially free while I was out. I felt less anxious. I felt much more natural walking up and talking to strangers. I even happened to walk up to my now girlfriend of 2 years when I was out at an environment that was more suited for me. This is a perfect example of how we don't necessarily need to brute force confidence in a non-ideal setting, but rather we can make an effort to remove the obstacles that block it from being released. Now, I am not proposing that you never put yourself in socially challenging environments. You likely have goals and values that are not solitary endeavors. I have a goal right now to make this YouTube video. I'm recording in public. But putting ourselves in those situations when we need to and when it really aligns with our values is absolutely worth the potential outcomes and can undoubtedly lead to personal growth. But when you do have agency around the type of environment that you can be in, when you have the opportunity to voice to your friends and make a proposal around a place to go that might be more in alignment to your strengths, don't be afraid to voice that. Don't hesitate to put yourself in positions where you are more likely to thrive. To kind of wrap things up, if you're an introvert who struggles to tap into their self-confidence, you might be falling for 3 different things. First, you might be misunderstanding your nature. Second, you might be mislabeling character traits. And third, you might have a misalignment in your relationships or your environment.
You don't mind if I stand here and listen?
Oh, it's all good. I'm about to wrap up.
I just felt you, so I wanted to come. I knew that you were speaking something, maybe inspiration trying to help.
Yeah.
No, it's a sign to me because I want to be where you are.
Thank you, man.
But,
Can I ask you a quick question on the camera?
You can.
All right, come here. Do you label yourself as introvert or extrovert or?
Used to be extrovert.
Yeah.
Now it's more of an introvert.
Okay.
I enjoy being alone. Just because you're alone, don't let depression and all those things get in. It takes work.
Takes work.
But you take care of your mental health.
That's
This
right.
is what gets us in trouble. These thoughts
Exactly.
and of the past, things that might have happened to you. Make a choice to start each day with gratitude.
I think as introverted people, we, like you said, get
Yeah.
in our heads, and we close off to potential connection. And so hopefully by this video, people can see that there's connection available at all times if you're open to it.
Exactamente. That's it. Yeah, man, this is one of my things that I've always wanted to do on camera. And I'll do it now.
Let's go.
You got to feel it. It's 7 o'clock in the morning here in Austin, Texas.
It's beautiful, man. It's a great example of what's
Well,
possible.
thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Thank you. So guys, that's a great example of how, as introverts, if we put ourselves in environments where connection could potentially unfold, and we stay open to our environment and to people around us, that connections can unfold. So I think that's a great way to end the video. I'm not sure I can top just that organic connection that just happened with Renee. So if you're an introvert who's looking to open your life up to new possibilities, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.